Okay, so just while we're getting started, did you all have any questions from the beginning? Did you get a chance to look at like the intro video and stuff like that? Or do you want me to go over the library sort of spiel again? Hello.
Hi.
So I was just asking the other folks if they had any specific questions about kind of how the library is functioning during all of this, or any other questions about how library use instruction works or any of that stuff. I doubt you do, but I'm sure. But if you all can think of anything, the main thing that Lisa Pritchard, who's the library director, asked me to convey, again, to sort of reiterate, it's in the video, but the library has kind of set up several procedures that we don't usually have to do just because of COVID-19. So it's the kind of things you would imagine, like people have to wear a mask, they have to check in when they come in the library with their ID card, just for future maybe contact tracing purposes and that sort of thing. It's going to take a little longer to get the physical materials than it would otherwise. We have curbside pickup, which functions just the same way as like ordering delivery for pickup does at a restaurant now. So you just pull up outside and then we bring it out to you. You have to reserve it online. So if you guys want, actually, I can show you how our LibCal system works. I don't know if you guys have used that before. It's the way that you used to reserve things like the adjunct study room that we used to have upstairs, and also study rooms and materials and things like that. So let me just show that really quick, because I think that bears some explanation. Okay, so let's go to the page here. Okay, so this is the library homepage. If you all have had a chance to check it out, it'll look a little bit different depending on what we're promoting at a given time. And underline. So LibCal is just a system to make reservations for various things in the library. If you click on this central callout box right here, you can see these are the 4 librarians. Taylor Humphreys is our new Access Services librarian. She just started this week. So, but she has a lot of experience working in libraries. She's just started with us. So you can see up here at the top where it says book a space. If you click that drop down and you go to curbside pickup, then what it's essentially is it's just a parking spot a designated parking spot outside. So what you would do, because we're not open right now, but on Monday, what you could do is you could click a certain time, and you would enter your name, and then we would be able to bring out whatever items you've reserved. If you're reserving, just kind of like if you need a webcam, because that's going to be a big thing. I see some of you are just letters in the screen right now, so I imagine everyone doesn't have a webcam. We have several of those, so please take advantage of that. That's kind of why we have them. So what you could do is you could either email the library, you could just kind of call us, and actually I'll show you where all that contact information is. So you've got down here at the bottom just the circulation desk phone number and the email, and you can see if you go to Ask a Librarian here on the left. Hello. You can see if you go to Ask a Librarian here on the left, this has various ways to get in contact with librarians as opposed to just a circulation staff. So this chat widget is something that's very useful. This is just kind of like a regular SMS chat, just like you would use on Facebook or on Google or whatever. This is staffed by a librarian whenever the library is open, and a lot of times when it's not. And essentially, this will connect you with one of the 4 of us. And actually, in off hours, there are librarians who we contract with who will staff that too. So that could be useful. Our faculty members use that. Our students use that. That's kind of for everyone. Let me see, what else could be useful. Did you all have, like I know we've had some more people show up. Did anyone have any specific questions about anything library related, concerns? No? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I only teach online, and for some of my discussion boards, I want the student, like, for example, uh, um, in a class where we're learning about students who are deaf, there's like a controversy over cochlear implants. Well, I want them to find a journal article about cochlear implants
Right.
and summarize it, and then give the citation. So, but well, currently I tell them they can put a video, a scholarly video, or a website, or a journal article. Well, almost all of them just put up like a website that's like for hearing aids, and I'm like, no. And I put in the prompt, I strongly encourage you to work with Jefferson College librarians to find a scholarly journal article.
Yeah.
So how I'm going to probably eliminate the website and the video choice and tell them they all have to do a journal article.
Yeah.
So how should I encourage them to consult with you guys, especially because of COVID,
Yeah, sure. Well, so there are several options. The simplest thing, if they don't want to, they can set up an appointment with us and we can have like a Google Meet session if they want. They can also, what a lot of people do is just use that chat widget. So
Okay.
what they do is they, like I said, you can click where it says chat with a librarian here on the right. You can just click that and it'll open it up. There's also in LibCal, you can make an appointment with one of the four of us. And we can all, obviously all librarians can help your students with that. And then we also have some of the videos that we have. So the videos that are in this module, if you just go to the YouTube channel for those videos, there's a bunch of things. There's like a scholarly article search. There's one that demonstrates the difference between a popular article and a scholarly article. So, I mean, ideally, like you said, we'd be able to sit down with them and kind of walk them through and let them try it and that sort of thing. But we're trying to like piece it together.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would suggest just recommending that they start with chat and email, and then we can move on from there. Because a lot of times the questions they have are kind of more like procedural questions. Like it's less, what is a scholarly article, and more just, I don't understand how X database works. So we can usually just walk them through with chat with a few simple guidelines.
Yeah, my students I know they all have the library in College 101 and everything, but I don't know if they feel like it's just too much work to read through all the materials or what. Yeah. But okay, I will. Now, you mentioned they could do a Google Meet with you. How would they do that?
So what they would do is just schedule an appointment, and then we would send them a link and get it set up. And also, I should take this opportunity to talk about the library use instruction sessions that we do. So for those of you who are new, librarians at Jefferson College and most academic libraries at this point, we set up these kind of like one-shot sessions where typically we would come into a classroom and we would show your students, specific resources tailored to an assignment that you have and how to use those. So what we did last semester with a couple of classes where we still did a library use instruction session is it's kind of like this. It's just we would have like an intro video, and then I would come in and just say, what questions do you have? And that seemed to go pretty well because a lot of the students who, like when someone asks a question, it's typically, as you all know, a question that other people would also have and just didn't bother to ask. So right. That's kind of what we're doing. It's hopefully somewhere in those kind of 3 or 4 things will meet everybody's needs.
Okay. Trying to raise them up.
Yeah. Did anybody else have any questions or concerns? Just also, I should say the library is still open. We get that question a lot. Like you can still go into the library if you want. We have, just to reiterate a little bit what I said in the video, we have computers available for you all if you're on campus and you're just trying to stop in and check your email or do something for class, if you go to the second floor of the library, there's a room called the CTL, which is the Center for Teaching and Learning. It's run by Dr. Cindy Rossi, and it's basically just like a little room that's reserved for faculty to use. There are 3 computers in there. Sometimes there are meetings or workshops, so as long as one of those isn't going on, you can typically go in there. The computers downstairs are by reservation only because, again, we're just trying to make sure that we're keeping track of everyone who uses, in case there's some kind of outbreak or something like that. So all that stuff's still available. Yeah. And the other thing I did want to show you all is if you're in a class where you're using videos where you want to get like an actual feature-length film, we now have a way to request those, and we can get the licensing for them, and you can actually just post them on your course shell. So if you want to do that, you can shoot me an email. There's a database called Swank, and it's actually what a lot of organizations use. Like if you've seen a video or if you've seen a movie at like the Science Center or something like that, this is the way that they get the rights to show that. So it's, if you just go to, show you briefly, you go to Books, Movies, and Music on the left here, and then you go down to where it says Swank Motion Pictures. You can log in here and you can see a catalog of all the things that are available, and you can request individual films. So there's a lot of stuff on there. We have 25 licenses to use a semester, and I think we've used 10 of them. So typically, if there's something, the ideal way would be to talk to the person who's in charge of your school or just maybe like your department and try to figure out if you can coordinate those requests, because we can't accommodate all of them, like I said, since we only have 15 or so left. And Dr. Fry, what you were talking about with the scholarly videos, we do actually have some of those under Films on Demand, which is right here. So that's typically what you're going to find in here are things like documentaries and these very kind of specialized academic films that would be prohibitively expensive for you to just buy for your class probably. But there's a lot of different stuff in here, and you have these categories, you have individual producers. So if you know you just want to show something from, like 60 Minutes or something like that, you can go up here and you can find all of those. You can find a lot of Ken Burns documentaries and all that sort of thing.
I've used those Films on Demand, but the students can't seem to get the hang of that they have to put in their V number and log in. Like they always tell me, well, I can't get to it. It says access denied.
Yeah. So the problem with Films on Demand is it's pretty locked down. There's something called a permalink in each of these videos. Essentially and I'm happy to help any individual person do this. Essentially what you do is you find the clip that you want, and then at the bottom of it, there'll be a really long specialized link that you have to link to in your course shell. And that link changes frequently, sometimes without warning. So you kind of have to check it, like before the assignment, before you're talking about it, I would check whatever link you've entered, because sometimes it will change it in the middle of the semester and not tell us. And so that's probably what you ran into.
Okay.
But we can also, if they're having trouble getting access to a specific film, if they just talk to a librarian in some capacity, we can find the correct link and send it to them. We're happy to do that because we understand it. But it's a little bit, it's kind of an onerous process to get that in sometimes.
Well, I mean, I do check like the week before, and I think my link is right, but the problem is, like, don't you have to, when they click on it, it prompts them to put in their V number, and then you put JC at the end?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
like they're not persistent enough. They don't know their V number, and they don't.
They're too easily discouraged. Yeah.
Yeah, but so there's no way around that, though, right? They have to do that.
I mean, it used to be, in the past, they could come to campus and do it, and they wouldn't be prompted. And I mean, they can still do that and check out a computer if they want to. They could use, if they're using campus Wi-Fi, they shouldn't have to use.
All right.
It's only if they are using it from home, or if they're trying to access from off campus.
And they can get the campus Wi-Fi from inside their car in the parking lot, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
They should be able
Okay, well, I'll tell them that. Thank you.
no problem. Okay. And if you feel like you don't have any questions, it was suggested to me to tell you all that you can feel free to jump between the different sessions going on in here. So if at any time you feel the need to do that, please go ahead. I will not be offended, I promise. I think if there's anything else specifically. I think I covered most of it in the video tutorials. And we can also, depending on what your specific discipline is, we can also work on creating what are called LibGuides. There's a faculty support one that let me just show you real quick in case you haven't seen it. There is a faculty support LibGuide that has a lot of this information in it, and it also has the way to request library use instruction sessions and various other things from the library. So if you just go to the library homepage again, and you go over here on the left where it says faculty support, you're going to find a lot of different things here. This is kind of just the catch-all for anything that you're specifically looking for. You can see here we have this course reserve request. A lot of folks have a specific book or something that they want to have in their course, and you can request that by clicking this and then filling out a form, and a library person, staff member, will get back to you pretty quickly. We also have a few things here that are frequent questions that we get. So this copyright guide, we get a lot of questions about, specifically from kind of like the fine arts people and people in the music department and stuff like that, about just how copyright works. We get a lot of questions from faculty asking, can I use this thing that I found on the internet in my class without paying like a royalty? Is this covered by fair use and all of that? So there's stuff here. This public domain Teach Act, the Teach Act specifically is going to be pretty relevant. And the public domain thing talks a little bit about fair use and that sort of thing. This information literacy ACRL thing, these are basically like the educational goals of library pedagogy. So if you're interested in kind of what librarians would teach in your class, this gives you a good idea of our goals. Anything else I can think of? So do any of you guys have use public libraries in the St. Louis area for things like Overdrive and like getting ebooks and that sort of thing? Let's see if there's a chat here that I'm seeing. Okay, so we have several ways to get access to ebooks, and you can actually link to these in your class if you want to, if you want students to be able to check them out. So if you go to Books, Movies, and Music on the left here, these two videos, this Overdrive and EBSCO ebooks, that just kind of walks you through how to get access to a specific ebook. You can go there through the link that's right underneath. You can also find these in our regular catalog, in our Archway catalog. So if you go to Archway and Mobius up here at the top, Archway is our local catalog. It's like 70,000 items that are available in the library. These are print items and digital items. And Mobius is all the libraries kind of in the state of Missouri, and then a bunch of surrounding libraries as well in adjacent states. So if you just go to Archway, and we always use drones as an example, just because there's a lot of stuff recently on it. As you can see here, when you search, you're going to find print books. You have some ebooks here. You'll see DVDs, audiobooks, all that kind of stuff mixed in. The print books can be requested through here, and we can bring those out with curbside pickup. You can pick them up at the circulation desk, all that sort of thing. And then these ebooks, you can read them in the browser. Let's just look at this one really quick. So you can look at these in the browser. If you go to Jefferson, click to access. This is, again, where you're going to be prompted for your V number and password. Usually I just have already entered it. And so what you'll see when you're looking at an ebook is it'll kind of look like an article in EBSCO. But then over here on the left, when you open it up, it'll be fairly obviously a book. Just wait for it to show up. And so you're going to see on the left here, these are the individual chapters you can download. And then you can actually just kind of flip through the book with these arrows as you would any other book. So this is the EBSCO ebooks. The Overdrive, the other ebook collection that we have, is a little bit more, it's a little bit more user friendly, and it looks a little bit more like you would find in your kind of public library. So this Overdrive has more popular fiction and actually popular nonfiction. So you'll find a lot of kind of popular science, self-help, kind of all local and national politics and that sort of thing in here as well. And these are all available to you too, so feel free to help our circulation numbers anytime you would like. Okay, anybody have any other questions? This flipped classroom thing is a little bit weird in the digital capacity, but I'm just going to kind of hang out here, I guess, and then as people come in, I'll ask them if they have any questions. And otherwise, most of the stuff that's in the course shell can probably answer any of the questions that you would have later, because I think they're going to make that available for a while. No problem.